Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of Luca and Lorraine. Today, you have the opportunity to share the secrets of our beautiful worlds. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's start by talking about stance. Now, first of all, what is stance? Stance is a combination of posture and poise. Posture and poise are very different, and today we're going to clarify the difference between them. So, first of all, posture. A very general mistake which we have all made through our career is to be aware of stretching our body. Because, of course, this is what we see from, or what you see when Lorraine and I dance together. What is important to understand is that stretch, it is not an action. Stretch is a result to a contraction. So I'm going to repeat this because this is very, very important. Stretch is a result to a contraction. Now, for example, ladies and gentlemen, and I would like you to try this with me. If you open your arm, and now close your arm, the muscle which works is this muscle here. This muscle will now shorten. The result of that is that the lower muscle will stretch. So I repeat that. This muscle will shorten. This is producing the power. This muscle shortening is producing the power which is closing my arm. The result is a stretching feeling of the muscles which are under my arm. If I want to open my arm, I do exactly the opposite. I have no power on the upper part. I cannot stretch the upper part without firstly shortening the lower part. So let's try it one more time. I can shorten the front and the feeling will be a stretch on the lower part. Or I can shorten the lower part, the feeling will be a stretch on the upper part. Now this is very simple. This is the way our body is being constructed to work. So this is the way we are also going to take our posture. So if we want a long front, which is very important and which we must have, and a well-presented head position, which muscle will we shorten? Well, if you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, the back muscles will be the one shortening. Now, of course, you must be very careful because we are not talking about shortening the spine. So I am not talking about making a short spine. Of course, we all know this is bad posture. What I am talking about is actually shortening the muscles of my back, which will now stretch my front. So if I show you this on Lorraine's body, which is more pretty, first of all, and is more easy to see. If Lorraine stretches the front of her body, this will cause her body weight to be too far back. So we don't want this, but we still want to stretch on the front of the body. Therefore, we are going now to feel that we're actually shortening the back muscles. This will automatically give a feeling to Lorraine of lengthening the front. So there's a feeling of energy flow which is circling, starting backwards and downwards, going forward and up. And this never stops. So there's a circle of energy. Now, if we try to do this with the two bodies together, this is exactly what I will do. So I will not lift my front of the body to try and find contact. Because as you can see, this is pushing both of our body weights backwards. But what we will actually do, the front will not really move. It will stretch as a result of our back shortening. Now, if I show you that this is a different angle, so we stand vertically. Now we are shortening our muscles on the back. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is the feel which we have. Or that is the action which we have to start with. The end feel is a very long front stretch, which is what we're looking for. But as soon as we try end stretch, then we become tight. So we are misunderstanding the word stretch with the word tension. Tension, it is not a stretch. So we are looking for shortening of muscles to produce a stretch. Now let's talk about how we actually lift our arms. There are many theories, there are many feelings which are described. Now the muscle which actually lifts the arm is the muscle which is on top of the shoulder. So if I want to lift my arm, the muscle which will work is this muscle which will shorten. So if Lorraine takes the position as man, this muscle and this muscle will now shorten slightly to position their arms. Now from this position, we now must find which muscles produce the increase of shape in the body. If we continue to use these muscles, what will happen is that slowly, the shoulders will rise, and this will happen. And this is when all the tension around the neck occurs from man or lady. So we must substitute these muscles. So what are we going to do? We are still going to use this muscle to lift the arms in position. We are now going to squeeze. So we have a set of muscles on the front here. Okay, so we have a set of muscles here, okay, and we have another set of muscles which is there, of course on both sides of the body. Now, the feeling we are looking for is a squeeze. So we are now going to contract slightly the front and the back, contract the front and the back, which will produce a stretch. So the action, once again, is a contraction. So we are squeezing, like toothpaste. We are squeezing to produce a stretch. So if I do it as man, thank you very much, my darling. If I do it as man, if I take position with no usage of these muscles, you will see that it's quite a small frame. And I don't look very powerful or big. And definitely, Lorraine would not be happy with this side. Now what I will do, I will use exactly the same muscle to lift my arm. But once the arm is actually lifted, I will now squeeze. And I will do the same on the other side. And this will automatically produce a much bigger frame and a much more powerful frame. In this position, if Lorraine pushes my arm, the arm will not change in any direction. But this is still very free. So I have locked this part of my arm to my body by using the front and back muscles of my back. And not, I repeat, not by using this muscle only. This will produce a lot of tension. And because the wrong muscle is contracting, that will produce a shortening, which will come to the shoulders, to the neck, and so on.